Hello YouTube and hello 9th Age communities. This is Charles with Evershade Gaming, and I'm bringing you another 9th Age battle report. Very excited with the 2.0 beta. Very much looking forward to making 2.0 games. Got to play test a little bit. Some things are still like some things came out and they still kind of like I was like, oh, that's cool. Just in my review that I just had, they changed a little bit the magic item points, which I was like, most of the changes I was like, oh, these are great. This is what should have happened. So I got a 2.0 game that I just played a few days ago against Beast Herds. So let's dive right in. We played Dawn Assault, which has changed considerably since I first put off the scenarios. Basically, you get 3/4 of the board to deploy in, and you can deploy and you can save up to 2 reserve units, and those reserve units come in that other quarter space where you're not allowed to deploy normally. We also played King of the Hill, defend and desecrate the holy ground, which is pretty simple. You just you pick 2 different terrain features. My opponent picked this forest, and I picked a water feature. And if there's no enemy scoring units in it, then you win the objective, basically. So this is my first 2.0 list that I'm going to put out. I took an Imperial Prince with the Shield Fallen, a Lucky Charm, and a Push and Swiftness. He's got a shield, pistol, and a horse. I kind of like the Knights. I kind of want to keep playing with them and trying to figure them out. I've got a Prelate with Imperial Seal. I really like that item. It's got just a great weapon. Then I've got a Wizard with the Scepter of Power. I like the new addition to the Scepter of Power where you can use it for Disrupt rolls and Power casting rolls. He's a Wizard Master, Path Cosmology. I took spells 1, 3, 4, and 5, so I just swapped 2 for 1. And then I've got my Marshal. This is like my classic Marshal build right now. He's got the Black Steel, gives him a 1-up basically on foot and fear. And then he's got the Death Warrant too, which gives him Fury, and then if he hits, his unit gets Fury too. So I've got 11 Electoral Cavalry for my Prince to go in, and then I've got 2 things of 20 Heavy Infantry. One's got Spears, one's got Halberds. And then just a little thing of State Militia with pistols and skirmish, 24 Imperial Guard with full command and the Banner of Unity, trying to bubble out some more orders. And then I've got 2 things of Riders and a Steam Tank and a big thing of 30 Flagellants. We were talking about this in the review. Flagellants got huge change, so I wanted to get a game with them. They look pretty scary with the Prelate in them. That's what I think right now. Quickly going over my opponent's 2.0 Beast Herds list. He's got a Minotaur Warlord with Agathor's Slate Hide. Bumps up his resilience, gives him 4 regen. He's got Blessed Inscriptions on paired weapons, a Potion of Swiftness, and the Crown of Horns. So he's always passing his hatred test. He's got a Soothsayer Master with Druidism, and the Druidism spells are 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll let you look this up. They'll come up in the battle report anyway. And then he's got Talisman of Void, which gives him more siphoning. He's got Centaur BSB with, I don't know what the G-Guard is. This is all my friend's shorthand. But he basically had I think he had like a 2-up, 5-up with the Greater Totem thing. He had 2 things of 15 Wild Horns with paired weapons and throwing weapons, both ambushing, both with musicians. And then he had 27 Mongrels with like spears and full command, 6 Minotaurs, 11 Centaurs, 2 Razor Tusk Chariots, and I believe he had 3 Razor Tusks in his army list, but he actually played with a unit of Gargoyles, but I was like, I don't care. So that's his list. And this is what his deployment looks like. We swapped a little bit. I let him start. He ended up finishing with me having 4 drops still to go, so he ended up getting turn 1. But he's got his Minotaurs on the left. He's got a Razor Tusk Chair behind them, a little Razor Tusk in front. He's got his Mongrel Raiders. I forgot to mention those guys. It's basically his Wizard Bunker with his Wizard in there. His 5 Gargoyles. Gargoyles got changed. They're not skirmishing anymore. They're just, I think they're flying light troops. And then he's got his Mongrel deep Mongrels behind his Centaurs. And then another Razor Tusk Chariot, another Razor Tusk. Pretty simple. His Wild Horns are ready to ambush too. So, and then this is what my deployment starts looking like. So this is my left side of the board. I took it from my opponent's viewpoint. I've got 5 Riders all the way on the left, then the Steam Tank, and then in the middle of this picture I've got my Imperial Guard on the left, and the bunker of 20 Spearmen with my Wizard in it. And behind my Imperial Guard on the left is my Arcane Engine. Unfortunately, I had a spill recently, so it's kind of in pieces, so it's like half an Arcane Engine. And then I've got my big unit of Flagellants right there on the right of this picture. They're kind of like right in the middle of my battlefield. We had a building right in the middle, so they're kind of like in front of this building, but I don't think they can go in anymore or pass through it, because I think you can only be 20 miles to go into a building. And then my cavalry is next to the Flagellants. And then I was going to put my Imperial Prince there, but I decided not to when he put his Centaurs there. So I ended up putting my Imperial Prince on his own. Guess he doesn't have that much shooting. He only has one magic spell that does damage. Next to my Prince are Riders. Behind him are Militia, and then all the way in the corner is the Halberdiers. This is, that's my score. That's where he's got to get his scoring unit. So I'm trying to defend that corner. So he got turn 1, pretty easily enough, and he just pushes forward with everything. He's actually the really hard part for me this game is his units are all faster than mine, and a lot of them hurt when they charge. I mean, the Centaurs are crazy good when they charge because they all got lances. They're all drunk. They come in at like strength 7. So I was like, I didn't know what to do against those guys, and also those Minotaurs could really hack up pretty much everything on the other side of the field. Yeah, I should have had the Flagellants facing Minotaurs. So my opponent's first Flux card, he gets 5 dice and 7 tokens. He ends up, since he siphons once with his wizards, once with the item, he gets like 9 Veil tokens, 3 more dice, so he has 8 dice. He gets Healing Waters off on his Centaurs. I kind of let that go. I was like, I'm not going to shoot him, I'm not going to get into combat. And then I think he gets Master Earth on these Riders, and he does 1 wound, so that doesn't cause Banish Test. And then EoS turn 1. I have to chaff with my Riders on the left, or I felt like I had to chaff. I feel like I had to slow up those Minotaurs. I think my goal was hold them up for a turn, hold them up with the Steam Tank maybe, and then, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I can wither them down with magic, maybe get a combo charge. Yeah, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And then I actually turned the Knights around, because again, I know he's got ambushers that are going to come on, and we're trying to kind of protect mostly my right side with, the Knights turned around, the Halberdiers are turned facing the Knights so they can charge to come in there, and then the Militia are facing in front of them. The Imperial Prince is kind of facing too. And then I pushed my Flagellants up pretty far too. So I get a Flux card 7, 6 dice, 7 Veil tokens. It actually leaves me with 1 extra Veil token. I still get 3 extra dice. Unfortunately, I just had a hard time getting a lot of spells from the magic base. I think I get the Ice and Fire off on these guys, but it's like a low number of hits. I think it only does 2 wounds. That's the Strength 4 AP3. I actually really like what they did to Ice and Fire. That's a great spell now. It was kind of like one of the worst spells in Cosmology. It's actually really good now. And then I put Unity of Divergence on these guys, which is, I put up 5 of Ward up on them, because I was a little bit worried about the Centaurs going in and killing my Prelate. And I think I tried to cast a spell over here. Actually, that's just some shooting that I did. Kill another Minotaur. He charges the Riders with his Minotaurs and with his Saber Tusk. It's a Razor Tusk. And then both his Ambushers come on turn 2, which is actually kind of rough because he doesn't even have a Beast Sword. So he doesn't have like the Hunting Call, which makes him so good. Which I kind of keep forgetting. I keep always thinking like, oh, he's got the Hunting Call, so they can come on turn 1. No, he's just got the Minotaur now. So I could have I probably should have been more aggressively dropping to get turn 1. But I really don't have that much shooting either in this list, so I don't know. It's probably what it helped me either. So he gets a Flux card 3, which is 5 dice and 5 Veil tokens. It leaves him with an extra Veil token. He has like 7 dice. I don't really have any pictures from the rest of Magic Maze. I just know he raises a couple models here and there. I think he kept getting... Oh, actually, you know what? He does 4 wounds to my Arcane Engine, and then he raises a couple Minotaurs back up. EoS turn 2. I turn to face the ambushing Wildhorns on my left flank. And I actually I really didn't anticipate him coming up here, because again, like, the scoring objective is all the way over there. But he's able to he actually had enough movement. He's got the speed banner on those Centaurs, and they're able to move actually out of the arc of my Flagellants, and then my Imperial Prince is too far up, and he's able to get chaffed by the Razor Tusk. So unfortunately, I was trying to move my knights out of the way. But I could only get them like 16 inches away, and that would have been like a seven on the dice, and he's charged them in the rear. And I was like, well, that's terrible too. So I ended up having to almost chaff. I have to chaff his centaurs with my knights. I do get the steam tank into the minotaurs. In combat, I take 4 wounds, I think. Yeah, his warlord's like strength 6 with like 6 attacks, and he's got battle focus, so he gets extra hits when he rolls 6s. He does, I think, 3 wounds, and the minotaurs do 1 wound. I think I just rolled poorly on my saves against the minotaur warlord. And then, in my turn 2, I had to charge the. This is my turn. Yeah. I had to charge. Oh, no, this is actually a master. I don't know what this is. I had to charge his Razor Tusk to my Imperial Prince to get rid of the chaff, and yeah, it was just bad times. Actually, yeah, that's what I did do on my turn 2. His turn 3, he charges the Wild Horns and the spears. I get to strike first, and I've got my Arcane Engine there, but we'll see how that goes. I don't know. Those Wild Horns are tough. They're stat-wise, they're just better than my heavy infantry. And then this chariot tried to charge my Imperial Guard and failed. And then this chariot makes a pretty long charge. I think it was like a 17 or something like that, but it has that +1 movement, so it wasn't too hard. It was like a 9 into my Imperial Prince, and then the centaurs come into my knights. Goodbye, knights. And yeah, that's a sad day. This is what the rest of the board looks like. Yeah, I turned around. He's chaffing my flagellants with the harpies, or the gargoyles right now. He's got his wizard in building. He's actually in a really good spot at this point. So he gets Flux card 7, and he gets another 9 dice or something like that this phase. I had such a hard time against Druidism, because he's always able to get the throne off, either on like 1 dice easily enough, or he was rolling 2 dice and getting really high rolls, and I couldn't stop him. And the throne really just boosts the whole lore so horribly well. He raises Minotaurs over here, and then he puts another wound back on the Centaur unit, so the Centaurs are full. I shot at them the previous turn, but I can only do like 1 wound. I think he puts healing water on them too. Yeah, it's bad. Actually, I think he put healing water on the Minotaurs. Yeah, it was tough. I just really couldn't. I just couldn't stop anything. And then the Minotaurs have no problems crushing my steam tank, and turning it into a pile of rubble. My Imperial Prince gets killed by this chariot too. He rolled 6 impact hits, so he got like 7 hits, and he did 5 wounds. I made 4 armor saves, and then I had a 3-up. Made 4 armor saves. I had my lucky charm. I failed it with the lucky charm. And then I go and I do 3 wounds to him. So I'm like, alright, that's not bad. I'm up by 1. Or actually, I guess we were tied at that point. He had a charge flank wound. We were tied. And then his pig goes. His pig does 2 wounds. I failed both armor saves. That guy's out of here. So that was unfortunate because, he was my general and Imperial Prince. He's going to be Mystic Court. I stopped Master of Earth in the magic phase, but his freaking mongrel raiders with their bows shoot, and they get like 8 or 9 hits against the Arcane Engine. He just rolls incredibly well, gets 3 6s, and it only had 1 wound left, and he kills my Arcane Engine before this combat. He passes his, I think he passes his hatred test, and he kind of whoops up on these guys, but they actually have the 3d6 order up, so they end up staying. EoS turn 3, I really have very little movement to do. Actually, I do charge the flagellants. The heavy infantry into the centaurs, and then that's about it. I just kind of back up with my Imperial Guard. The magic phase, the only really spell of interest is I get ice and fire off in the building, and I do a bunch of wounds because I got like 10 hits, and I was able to do the flaming version of it, so that was nice. In combat phase, I kill all the centaurs. It's kind of a goober, and I didn't even target his VSB, which. I might have not killed all the centaurs if I didn't do that, so, that's kind of, like, iffy. Maybe it was a good idea to do both, but... his centaur flees, and thankfully we catch him, because that would have been that would have been the worst if I couldn't even catch that, like, that BSB. He actually had the way he actually didn't overrun far enough that, like, his back still would have been clipped by my flagellants, so he just fled with his gargoyles. Beast starts turn 4. He makes a long charge with the Minotaurs into the Imperial Guard. I think they needed 9 on 2 dice, so that's not terribly far. A little higher than average. So those Imperial Guard are in for some dark days. Yeah, he's still got chaff to spare. Like, he's still got that razor just chilling on the open. Like, a chariot that killed Imperial Prince chilling out in the open. And he's got so many miles left on the board. He gets Flux Card 1, which all miscasts are reduced by 1, but he gets 4 dice, 3 Veil tokens, so he has 5 dice. We got 4 dice. And, yeah, basically just skipped over all those combats, because I was very upset at this point in the game. You know, I couldn't believe how terribly it was going. But, yeah, he just pushes in the Imperial Guard. He kills my wizard in his round of combat. And then, yeah, this is on my turn. I really didn't have anything to move, but I just kind of showed a picture. He did a wound to my BSB too, but he's just, he's just grinding these guys out, because I don't have distracting or anything. And 3 up armor, I'm making no armor saves against the strength 5 or strength 6. And then these wild horns on my turn 4, they end up killing the rest of the spearmen. They just can't hold up. These riders take 1 bow shot, I think. There's like 2 mongrels left that take 1 bow shot. It wounds, hits, wounds. I fail my leadership test. They flee. They flee to, like, right there. They rally on my turn. And then they have to flee again against these mongrels. And he ends up catching them, actually. Which, go figure, it was like a 16-inch charge or something like that. He just rolls high enough to get them. And then he also charges these wild horns to my Imperial Guard. I don't know why he didn't really need them, but he does. And then this is actually kind of like a further stage. At this point, I've already lost. My flagellants end up going into a razor test. But pretty much at that point, we call it. Yeah, like those are there's my Imperial Guard are sitting in the corner. They're not there. They're dead. I was ranking them up at that point. So yeah, this is the final picture of the game. The only thing I can say is nobody got the objective, which is like a small win on my part, I guess. He really wasn't too keen on getting into combat with those flagellants, because I got my prelate in there. But he could probably beef up those Minotaurs. And they could probably go in and do some serious. Like, all he would really need is maybe healing waters on them. And I guess I could probably target that spell and stop it. But yeah, he could probably go in with healing waters against those flagellants and probably eat up that unit. So yeah, it's a 17-3 loss for me at the very least. But I pretty much conceded 20-0'd. I got 20-0'd. Yeah, I don't know where it went wrong. Or, I know where it went wrong. It went wrong my first turn when I moved the flagellants too far up. I could have held them back a little bit. I also could have held back my Imperial Prince. Played a little bit more conservatively with how I was moving my units, I think. And I think that would have helped me, because then I could have also swung those knights around, and maybe on turn 3, those knights could have, bought the wild horns. Because otherwise the knights were chaff. I mean, it was like a 500 a 500, over, I think they're almost like 600 points when you get like 11 knights. Like a 600-point chaff unit. So, yeah, that was an unfortunate mistake on my part. But yeah, I can't really say I had a fun time playing this game, but I really do like 2.0, even though I got crushed my first, live battle report. But honestly, no, the game's great. I just had I play tested against this list, maybe like a few weeks ago, and my friend made just a small couple of changes, a couple little price points went up for him. I think he had to drop a couple centaurs or something like that from his original list. So I actually played this list before, and I've gotten beaten twice. So shame on me, I guess, right? So hopefully I'll get a grudge game in against this list, and maybe play a little bit more smart, more intelligently. That's a better way of saying that, even. And yeah, I'm so psychologically I'm always messed up by beast hurts because there's so many like little ticks in the army that like bother me, like how it's like, are you gonna take turn 1 or turn 2? Because if you take turn 1, they got dark rain, your shooting's awful. And I'm so used to like the beast lord with the hunter's call, so that the ambushing units can show up turn 1. But I guess with the minotaur warlord that doesn't happen, so that's nice. I don't even think they have like the reroll. I think that's what you have to have the hunter's call, I think, to get the reroll. I think that's what that does. They might just have the reroll anyway. I don't know. They're like the best ambushers in the game. Yeah, what can you do? On a personal note, I really just want to thank everybody who watches these battle reports. I actually started making battle reports right about this time last year, like really early December. I actually started in 1.2. I had like 2 1.2 videos. And then 1.3 came out, and I jumped right on that. And honestly, I've had such a fun time playing 1.3. It's been an awesome year. All the tournaments I've been in have been so great. And really, I really enjoy the people who watch, comment, and enjoy these battle reports. So I just want to say thank you, personally, and look forward to more content from me. And happy holidays, Merry Christmas. See you guys in the new year. And this is Charles with Evershade Gaming, and I just want to say thank you.